This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Your position has been usurped.
This show is naughty and might make you a potty mouth.
Hey, Paul, PA, this is Dark Star. Can you give me a call when you get a minute, my brother?
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the State Fair. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is a full-strength edition of the Friday Football Feast from the State Fair in Carousel Park. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's your favorite radio station, FM 100.3 KFAN, and I'm Paul Allen. Eric Nordquist is the on-site producer, and Paul Charch, the longtime co-host of the Friday Football Feast, is here with us today, and he'll be with us next week for the Friday Football Feast at Buffalo Wild Wings Oakdale. Now, as we commence and we await the arrival of former Vikings game-changing linebacker Chad Greenway, we had a couple decisions to make early in the equation for the Friday Football Feast. First is, where do we start with football? Do we begin with Parsons or the Pup? Parsons being Micah Parsons, now in the division, or as the kids would say, in the NFC North chat, or the Pup, Drake Lindsay, quarterback for the Golden Gophers football team, looking the part in a victory over Buffalo last night. It'll be one of the two, and it'll be dealer's choice as 9 to noon goes with the Friday Football Feast. Yours truly, however, speaking of choices, was relegated to crafting multiple opening segments for today's Friday Football Feast. You may ask why. It's the fair, and he's Paul Charchian. So it's an equity-based thing. It's an historical thing, and that comes with respect and brotherly needling, whether he is listening to the feast 2 miles from the State Fair on Como that actually takes 48 minutes to negotiate, or per the puncher's chance, the parimutuel puzzler, so to speak, takes place, and he's here on time. Well, the latter is definitely in play. Paul Charchian is here on time. Can I get a witness and a raucous round of applause?
Thank you.
Not just for being here on time, but for the longtime co-host of the Friday Football Feast who has relocated to Utah. He lives in Utah now, and on Google Maps, it shows your new Utah home is adjacent to a bunch of rest stops and a women's prison. Is that accurate? And good morning, and good to see you again, my brother.
Well, where I live, nature is your rest stop, so you can walk about a quarter mile in any direction, and the world is yours. It is weird getting a hotel room in your own city.
Right.
It's super strange. I went to the airport.
You're used to motels like north of Minneapolis, and you're only there for 90 minutes.
All cash, $60. Right, yes.
Bring coins for the vibrating bed.
Oh, man.
Yep.
That's a throwback.
And the coin wash.
The coin wash, yeah, absolutely. Which they do with the sheets every week, 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
When I got to the airport, I realized I didn't know where the car rental counter is at the airport. Wow. I've never needed to rent a car at the airport.
At Lindbergh Terminal.
Right.
I wouldn't know where that is either.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Crazy.
Never needed to know. And then getting a hotel in your own city, weird. And then knowing I need to be here, not just today, but tomorrow for Fantasy Football Weekly Live,
Here?
10 o'clock here.
Oh, nice.
We'll be doing our annual in-person draft where we take 10 people out of the stands and they draft for us. We do it every year. We're going to do that tomorrow between 10 and noon. So I wanted to be close, so I'm staying in a hotel in Roseville, and that meant I'm 5 miles away.
Brilliant.
There's no Lowry Hill Tunnel. There's none of the 394. Oh, it was glorious coming in today.
So this is the first time that I can recall you actually being early.
Early.
You were here. Now, have you ever, I got to ask you, because I'm just, my conspiratorial mind is clicking in here. Have you ever gotten here on time and then just sat in your car? Just sat in the car for 20 minutes?
That's right.
Just to kind of proceed with the tradition that is. They know me.
And Nordo brings that up because we are on a 2-year run where generally we do 7 fair-related radio shows adjacent to the grandstand. This year it was 6 for Nordo and I. I went to Nashville with the Vikings for the final preseason game.
Right.
And so therefore 6, 7 last year. We're on a 2-year run. Now, granted, we live in the Western Burbs. We're leaving at 6:15, 6:30 in the morning and sitting in our cars in the designated parking lot for an hour and change for me. Norda will come right over here. I just can't tell you what a mental relief that is, not sitting in Como or sitting on Snelling in that traffic, and then you just kind of get a microcosm of certain facets of humanity and what they think is theirs and like what really is yours, and we just decided to avoid all of that this year, and we're better for it. Wouldn't you agree?
Or are you kidding me? Yeah. Well, first, again, we've said it multiple times in probably every single year. We work the best hours in radio. 9 to noon.
Yes, you do.
And as it pertains to the fair, we have the best hours in radio.
Yes.
And the smartest fair goers as well. They know, get here early, enjoy your day, avoid the fair funk, the fair heat, although we've had the best weather, I think, of my lifetime here.
Yes.
But getting here early to chill and ease into the clomp is the best way to do it.
Well, some people would say the best shift to have on the radio for the fair is the morning show.
Well, you just don't have to go.
Right. I think that
they'll be here Labor Day.
Yeah, they'll be here at 2 o'clock on Labor Day.
Well, that's awfully nice. They're going to make an appearance.
Yep.
Oh, that's sweet.
Well, we had a shift change the other day. Power Trip Morning Show supposed to be here one evening. Opted from a sensitivity standpoint to Labor Day at 2 o'clock. So the anchor for the Core 4, Power Trip Morning Show, 9 to noon, the program, and a bumper-to-bumper with Barrero. The Power Trip Morning Show, wildly successful and highly touted as it is. Labor Day, 2 o'clock, if y'all want to fill those stands and see the boys. And good morning.
Yeah, good morning. This makes me feel great to be back. I've done all these fair shows with you guys for.
You haven't been gone that long.
15 years. It's felt like a long time to me. I've missed you. Apparently, you haven't missed me.
But you've
nice
been back 15 times. I mean, I'm like calling the 6th race at Canterbury and then walking into the press box. Hey, Charch, I thought you moved to Utah.
Right.
Great to see you. 2 weeks later, he's at KFAN. 3 weeks later, he's here. A week later, he'll be in Oakdale. I mean,
yes.
Yeah.
I can't totally give up Minnesota.
I had a fantasy show 2 weeks ago at TI.
I did. I had a fantasy show.
Have you actually even moved?
I know it feels that way, doesn't it? But delighted to be here. Excited. And by the way, the Gophers have a new quarterback. That was a lot of fun.
All right. Dealer's choice.
Yeah.
Parsons or the Pop or Parsons. Well, let's let Paul Charchian make the choice because he officially is the guest. Drake Lindsay or Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers. Your choice, dealer's choice. What you going to pull out that deck?
Drake Lindsay.
Go.
I want to talk about the new Gopher quarterback.
Yeah.
I came in.
Let's do it this way.
Yes.
Gophers 1-0, and they might have a really good quarterback. Can I get a witness and a raucous round of applause? Insert the obvious snarky line here, and don't add us, and don't take it personally. Wow, holy cow, is he going to look good in that Michigan State jersey in a couple of years? Just kidding. Transfer portal, NIL.
Don't do that.
It's a low hanger, and I took it.
Some people are going to say it was only Buffalo. What are the Mid-America Conference or whatever, right? It was only Buffalo. But we're looking for the traits of a Division I quarterback. And it looks to me like Drake Lindsey's got him.
Yeah.
The arm strength is there. We saw just tons of out-pattern sideline throws that were lasers.
Yeah.
I mean, this kid he has arm talent. We saw good decision-making. If you look at the box score, you'll see an interception, which was absurd and not really an interception on his for him whatsoever.
The defiance of physics and
Yes.
just all the things, the ripple effect, chaos theory involved that led to that bouncing off. I think it was Gears' foot.
Yes.
And they headed the other way.
The tight end.
I love that we have beers and gears.
Beers and gears.
Beers and gears is the
Absolutely.
best. That's fantastic. But this Drake Lindsey kid, redshirt freshman, he looks legit. And it's only one game. It's only Buffalo. Don't care. I'm ready to get excited about the future of quarterbacking at Minnesota.
Maybe this place is becoming quarterback U. I mean, Max Brosmer made the Minnesota Vikings active 53, and now Drake Lindsey's out there rolling around like a cross between Billy Cockrum and Asad Abdul-Khalil.
People think I'm crazy because I tweeted, right now, if I needed somebody to start a Vikings game other than J.J. McCarthy, I would play Max Brosmer right now today over Carson Wentz, given that Max has been in the system all offseason.
Yeah,
I think he looked very good.
Yeah.
And just the pocket poise, he looked collected. The arm strength looked better. And he was always able to read and diagnose the field. You saw all the traits that we liked as a gopher in Max. And I feel like given where we are right now, God forbid something happens in week 1, I think Max Brosmer should be first guy up. I know Carson Wentz has got 8 years in the league or whatever, but I just feel like Max's knowledge of the system and the way he looked in the preseason, I would go to him first.
The Minnesota Vikings, the beloved shield of the National Football League, hijacks every facet of every person's life from a sports distraction standpoint.
It does.
That's what the NFL does year-round. This is about Sky Umah. This is about the Golden Gophers starting 1-0 with a quarterback in Drake Lindsey, and a game, sadly, I didn't get the opportunity to watch. So I'd like to pepper you guys with some questions, if you don't mind.
Yeah, let's do it.
We gave up 10 points, correct?
Yes.
So is this an 85-esque Bears defense, or is the Buffalo offense that of inadequacy?
Yeah, Roberson, they're QB.
7th year.
Oh, geez.
7 years.
So he's had a lot of time to figure out how to be bad.
Well, at one point, wasn't it was Brandon Weeden maybe at Oklahoma State who was drafted? He had to have been, I think, 27 or 28 when he entered
I think
the league.
he'd done military or something first.
And at the time, that was almost unicorn-esque.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell's going on?
Well, yeah, COVID adding years on, and
there was a Green Beret, Nate somebody who became like a long snapper, I think, for Texas. So you had these weird bits. Now it's completely unsurprising that a 26-year-old is still playing college football.
Well, we have a running back we discussed yesterday that I just learned of 2 days ago and watched it's kind of like you at the Combine with Kareem Hunt. We go to break, and more coverage from the Combine in Indianapolis continues on your home for Vikings football, FM 100.3 KFAN after this. And then Paul Charchian will get into the YouTube machine. And because he's heard a name that maybe we had heard in passing, but he heard it from somebody who matters as the NFL draft goes. Well, one year it happened to be Kareem Hunt. So he spends 4.5 minutes watching Kareem Hunt highlights. Welcome back to the Indianapolis Scouting Combine with Nordo and Paul Charchi, and I'm Paul Allen. Paul, what do you have up your sleeve? I put a lot of work into Kareem Hunt. I thought about he's going to be unbelievable. So that happens out of nowhere with us when it comes to college football. For me, it was 2 days ago, and a running back named Cam Smith. I don't even know if he played last night, but he spent time at Washington, and he was a captain. What up, 5'2"? He was a captain, but he's like in his 7th year. It's like he's entering his 7th year. So this is commonplace in college football. This 7 year thing.
It is indeed. Now back to part of Cam Smith. I think they ran the ball like 45-ish times last night for like 3.5 a clip. Which, getting back to Drake Lindsey, actually allowed us to see more of him. They had to throw. I mean, PJ's game, and they got there eventually. I want to have the ball for like 45 minutes. I want to actually just grind all the air out of that thing.
Yeah, okay.
And he's very happy not having to score 50 and kind of run the ball out. They did that.
Yeah.
But getting to see Drake, he threw it 35 times last night.
Jeez. Oh, yeah, for 2 and change.
There's no chance that PJ wanted that to happen, but you got to see it. And you can tell, the growth curve of Drake is going to come along with some of these inexperienced pass catchers. You had Jalen Smith, the Mankato kid, and I love him, and you can see the talent, but he dropped a couple of balls. That tight end, Gears, he was clomping around a bit, and he made some mistakes. He was imperfect. But, man, I think they got somebody in Drake for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome to the Friday Football Feast one of the great defensive players in the history of Minnesota Vikings football. Can I get a witness and a raucous round of applause for Chad Greenway? What up, 5'2"?
How we doing? How's everybody going?
Good to see you, my brother. Welcome.
All right.
Getting
Made
busy
it
in here. Good
Welcome.
to see you.
This is busy. God, you get big.
Well, you were texting me. I got a weight problem. We're trying to work on it.
Why do you start the feast calling somebody fat?
Yeah,
No.
I mean, right out of the gate.
I was being nice. I was just touching them up.
Oh, yeah, now you're touching him in weird places, but it's radio and nobody can see it.
Who's that remind you of?
Holy cow.
You learn from the best.
Thoughts for everybody. Yeah, welcome, my brother.
Man, I've been gone for so long. Obviously, you guys have missed me. Not as long as Charch, though.
No.
Well, that's a conversation in
Good
its
to
own
see you
right.
again.
I'm not even sure he's gone. And we were discussing it as you were walking
Not entirely
in.
sure he's moved.
I mean, we had this emotional, tearful Paul. I've been saving this to share with you on the radio, but I'm moving to Utah, and then we're doing the feast in studio, and we talk about it. And
There were tears and hugs.
Tears were
memories.
dropping eyes.
Yeah.
Subsequently, was that May, early May, late April?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
early May.
And not one text to your boy. Not even a text.
Well, yeah, that's a separate conversation because Chad actually got mad about that when I
Plymouth
told him you
terrorism.
left. But subsequently, since he left late April, we've seen him in Minnesota 13 times. I don't know. It's like some people buy timeshares in Florida and Arizona and Hawaii and things like that. Is this a timeshare in Utah that you have? What is it?
I'll be at your house tonight.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
You can help me figure out how to get into my. Anyway,
I'll be setting up your AV system tonight.
I was more
Sitting
talking
in boxes.
fantasy football
and help you there, too.
and negotiating that, but we'll save that potentially for later or never. How did you get into the state fair? And I ask because I was at KFAN yesterday to tie some metaphorical strings together, and your pass is still taped on Lil B's door.
Right there. She texted me weeks ago and said, "Hey, by the way, so I can't take I can't take credit for not going to pick those up. I completely dropped the ball on not simply driving by and pulling over and grabbing those.
Oh, geez.
But I had to, I'm always late, so I had to take the north route through. Didn't go past 394.
Yeah.
So I just paid the money.
How much does it cost to get into the
20
fair?
piece.
Okay, so say there were two in there.
Got a park.
Okay.
Right.
You know I paid for close parking.
Say there were two in there for you, and you got to park twice. So you're like, all right, that's $75. I ain't pulling off Park Place Xenia. I'm flush, man. I'm cool.
Hey, I'm cool.
I got enough cash. I don't need to stop in there.
I
I'm
ain't
flush.
taking the exit. I'm driving north side. Efficiency. I got it. Finally close parking. 40 piece in the parking bid. It is what it is. This is my third time to the fair.
Third time.
This year?
Third time this year.
Jeez.
So you did
Yes.
last Friday.
I did the family bit, which was always
Why wouldn't you do that when you're coming out anyway?
Well, because kids are in school.
Oh.
Get your education charge.
All right, that's
so
fine.
otherwise you have to move to Utah. So you get your education and you have to move then. Duh.
So what are you saying? People in Utah don't get education?
Nobody in Utah is listening, right? We can say whatever.
You never know.
I listen from Utah.
But so the day with I've had good weather every day I've come to the fair this year.
Yeah.
This is the best morning you could ever ask for.
This is perfect right now.
Well, it's been like this almost every day.
It's unbelievable weather for the fair this year. And, knock on wood, the rain stayed away. But I got to see Liebers in his bit yesterday.
Yeah.
He tried to dunk my head into a pool of water just right across the
Twin
bridge
Cities
here.
Live?
Yep.
That's sweet.
Live.
Yeah.
I don't know how he keeps getting better looking.
That's called a swirl.
It's unbelievable.
He's like a mystic.
It's a skin tone thing with him. It changes. He's a chameleon. His skin's getting better the older he gets.
I don't understand it. Whatever.
Cheekbones are all high.
You get a little tan on his face.
Yes.
Just ridiculous. But the day with
But why do you
kids-
go to fondling and grabbing Nordo and you don't do that with Ben?
Oh, yeah. No, I did with Ben.
But you
there's
do?
a little backstage action before we came out. So, yeah.
All right,
Backstage
3-2.
action is what you call it. All right, that's good. That's what you call it.
6 years in a row with Ben, his roommate. That's what it is. What do you do?
There's enough. There's nothing you two, 6 years roommates, there's nothing you two haven't seen with each other.
Oh, my Lord. Yeah, and then plus those 6 years of training camp where you have 2 weeks in old Gage.
Yeah, right.
Mankato.
Right.
Window air conditioning.
And then, so you got you're engaged, you're young players, and then you've got that chronic anxiety-induced flatulence. That had to be a major bummer for Ben.
That's the
sharing
food
a room with
that's
you.
the food at Gage Hall.
Yeah,
There's no question about that. That's not on me.
So to get ready for Charch joining us today, I had to prepare multiple opens with the assumption he wouldn't be on time, and that would be playing the favorite.
Why would you assume that?
Because it would be because
of the Providence Drive. You know,
Yes.
we've done Friday football feasts or radio shows together since 2009, and that includes the State Fair. So with one of the opens, I'm like, you know what? I have his address. I know where he lives, so I'm going to do the Google Maps bit on that just to see like what's around it in St. George, Utah. And when I did it, it showed 16 rest stops all around his house and a woman's prison. And I'm like, what's happening here? What's going on with him? Why did he move there?
Well, you just answered your own question.
Right.
right. It's that's low hanging fruit right there.
So what is
you hang outside the prison and you just wait for the release day.
So are you back just for the fair? Is it
I am back.
So to get together?
I am back to be here today, and I'm going to do the Friday football feast at Oakdale, Buffalo Wild Wings Oakdale, the official first in-person one.
Because Charch, and we probably should inform you of this, but your spot first hour of the feast is whenever you want it, however long you want it.
Uh-huh.
Alec Lewis is going to be co-hosting a majority of the feast, and Nordo is going to be on site for all the feasts except the first one.
Oh, my God.
It took 2 people to replace me.
Right.
What's that going to cost?
See, but when I told Charch how it was going to go, then all of a sudden the texting and the emailing was, I'm going to be in town for the first feast, and it's important to me that I get an opportunity to hand the baton to Alec. I'm like, this ain't a relay race, bro. It's a radio show.
We'll have you on the last segment, Charch. We'll save you 5 minutes.
That's right. Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Glad I flew in for that.
Yeah,
and drove to Oakdale.
I know for sure he won't come back to the Plymouth one in late December.
Yeah, right.
When we're making the playoff.
He doesn't know where that one is.
Yeah.
Don't tempt me. That is possible.
That's home.
All right, let me hit each of you with this, and then we will pause, and we will analyze the big story in the National Football League from yesterday. The Dallas Cowboys traded a game-changing defensive player named Micah Parsons to the super special Green Bay Packers, which means it's clear the reason the Green Bay Packers made that move is they want to copy the Minnesota Vikings with Grenard and Van Ginkel. I mean, we showed them last year what it's like to have a couple of nice edge rushers. They got enough of them, so they're like, we watched that film enough. We got to go get another one to bookend Rashawn. So they're copycats, but that situation is going to be formidable. That's next segment. We will begin with Paul Charchian. How far do you have the Vikings going this year? Don't need a record prediction. Just how far do you have them going this year?
I think it's safe to put the Vikings on one playoff win. And I'll take a playoff win in the first year with J.J. McCarthy.
Okay.
I think McCarthy's going to be very good. This division is shaping up to be one of the best divisions in the history of the NFL. I can't go say this team's going to win the division, but this team's too good not to make the playoffs, and I could see them getting a victory on the depth of the roster. This is the best roster we've had in years, and I just think this team is at the end of the day is going to be good enough to go get a playoff win, which we haven't had under Kevin O'Connell yet.
Jack Greenway, how far do you have the Minnesota Vikings advancing this year?
Yeah, I don't want to clomp on Charch's bit. I like that pick, though. I like the one win in the playoffs and get there. I think when you look at how this team is built, specifically, of course, I'm looking at the defensive side. I'm so excited. We got to get a couple people healthy. Got to get full strength. But I'm so excited about what the pieces they've done. You can see the trades that we've had that happened in the last week, how they feel about the people they have on the roster and they've kept. And then offensively, well, how I'm looking at this thing is how well can we run the football? And the fact that Mr. Mason's in our backfield now, I love so much. Maybe on paper to me, or just looking at the roster and how it's built, potentially the biggest free agent pickup we have, in the last couple of years, and that's saying a lot because we've had a lot of good ones. But he's going to be massive for this team, and for JG to be successful, you bring in a guy that's going to sure-handed guy that's going to catch a lot of footballs, and Adam Thielen. You're going to get healthy after maybe a little bit of a suspension after week 3. You're going to have week 4. You're going to have one of the best pass-catching groups in the league, if not the best, for a young quarterback with an offensive line that hopefully can find some stability. To me, a young quarterback, it's like you got to keep him upright, put him in position to have success, hand the ball off. I mean, that's how you win with a young quarterback, and a defense that's really good.
You got to finish your career with the team you started with. Are we overblowing how much this probably means to Adam Thielen to come back and finish his career here, or is that really, really important?
Yeah, I mean, not to share full details of our conversation, but I can tell you he is over the moon excited. I mean, he wants to be here. I think the position he's going to have an opportunity here to finish his career, essentially his way, which the way it should. And the way I looked at the end of my career was like there's such few things in your life you get to control, especially in the NFL. And when I got to the position where I can kind of call my shot and be done, call my career and say, hey, Rick, thanks for the time, I'm out, and retire in the same spot I started was really special. And I think for Adam to go full circle, and who knows, he may keep playing and go someplace else, but the reality is if he can finish here, have a great year here, have success, come home, whenever he decides to hang him up, he's going to hang up a Viking, and we're all going to be very, very happy. And it's going to, Please announce the offense on Monday Night Football and have Adam Thielen be the last guy, or maybe JJ.
Wouldn't that be great?
Guy. But what a special moment.
That's the voice of a game changer, one of the best linebackers in the history of Minnesota Vikings football, Chad Greenway, ladies and gentlemen, here with us for the first hour. Paul Charchian, GuillotineLeagues.com, with us for the balance of the show. Nordo produces, and I'm Paul Allen. That right there was our Steve's Marathon, Steve's Appliances Marathon segment. Steve'sAppliances.com if you want to save money on appliances. They have a Labor Day sale going on right now with clearance items where already free delivery, fast delivery, free recycling, and guaranteed low prices gets better with 50 to 60% off those clearance items. Go to stevesappliances.com. Micah Parsons is in the NFC North. That conversation and much more around the corner. Welcome to the State Fair, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening to KFAN whenever you do. This is the Friday Football Feast, and this is 9.
Life moves fast. A new home, a new baby, a new chapter. But without an estate plan, your future's still vulnerable. With Trust and Will, you can name guardians, start a trust, create healthcare directives, and more. All online in about an hour. It's attorney-designed, state-specific, and built to protect what you love. Plans start at just $199, and every plan is safe, secure, and kept completely private. From families with young kids to adults caring for aging parents, Trust and Will makes it simple to take control, without a law office, paperwork stress, or court delays. Go to trustandwill.com and use code RADIO to save 20%. Start your plan today. Don't wait for life to force your hand. Estate planning is one of the smartest, most loving things you can do. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
Trust and Will.
Friday Football Feast. It is KFAN style from the State Fair. We're followed by the program. Dan called the Common Man, courtesy of TimberTech and TimberTech.com. What's on deck 9 to noon would include Chad Greenway now discussing some football and ancillary topics. Anthony LaPanta from FanDuel Sports North. He's the television play-by-play voice for the Minnesota Wild, and he also does a lot of Minnesota Twins-related work this time of the year from a desk standpoint, as we say in the business. So the heir apparent will be here about 30 minutes from now. And at 11 a.m., Minnesota Wild head coach John Hines will join us here at the State Fair.
Super cool.
Heinze will be here at 11 o'clock. But for now, Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons, game-changing linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys, is now a member of the Green Bay Packers. He was traded. He has 52.5 sacks. over the course of 63 games. He has 4 fumble recoveries, and he's a 3-time All-Pro, not Pro Bowl. You Pro Bowl for show. You Pro Bowl for dough, but you also All-Pro for more dough. That's kind of the inside 3-2. You Pro Bowl for show, you All-Pro for dough. That's the inside the game bit as to like who's best and why. Micah's played 4 years. He's been an All-Pro 3 times. Yes, he is a game changer. 4 years, $188 million for the deal. Signed it in about a second. And if you haven't followed it, Parsons and Jerry Jones and the Cowboys have just, it's been a tumultuous offseason for that duo right there. Well, Jerry eventually said, all right, cool. I'll take 2 first-round picks and a player, and you can have Micah Parsons, and you're going to have to be the one to pay him. Now, when it comes to the player, I just wonder how old school Jerry handled this. Did he look up and down the roster and okay, what, Isaac this, Xavier that? I know Kenny Clark's name. All right, put Kenny Clark in the deal. Because if I'm Dallas, I ask for Edgerrin Cooper.
Absolutely.
They got a linebacker named Edgerrin Cooper, and here's the deal. If I'm giving you this monster and you're giving me these picks, well, we can go a first and a second if you want, but I need this Edgerrin Cooper cat. I swear Jerry Jones accepted Kenny Clark because it's the only guy on the roster whose name he knew because he's been around 10 years. But Micah Parsons.
Could they have made the deal without getting rid of Kenny Clark's money?
Very good point.
It's 47.
Wow, that's a good point. Yeah.
How expensive is our entire defensive front?
It's the same. It's within $1 million of cap hit.
For real?
For all 4 of the Vikings' defensive starters.
Okay.
Versus Micah Parsons.
Holy cow.
$48 million to $47 million.
So when I said opening segment, joking around, they got enough of Grenard and Van Ginkel last year to recognize having 2 game-changing outside guys is what you need in this division. So they didn't copy the Minnesota Vikings, but they recognized the importance of bookending Parsons with Rashawn Gary. So good thing we have Christian Darrisaw and Brian O'Neill. I'll just start there. You got a couple of nice bookending tackles. If you got to handle people one-on-one, because there will be one-on-one opportunities. But, boys, Micah Parsons is a Green Bay Packer. What do you think?
Yeah, I did love that one. I honestly, I didn't see it coming to go to Green Bay. You look at how Jerry did this deal, and I think what you got in return, Nord makes a great point, was that really worth it from that perspective of the active player you're going to get, not the future player you're going to get. But you also look at this deal and say, okay, I didn't have to pay the guy $180 million. I'm going to go get these 2 first-round picks. It's not a bad deal for the Cowboys either. You just don't know what. Listen,
it is a bad deal.
I don't necessarily agree with that until you see, obviously, when we look down the road in the future, 3-4 years, and say, okay, Micah Parsons is already probably going to be in the Hall of Fame potentially, because based off how he started. But you just don't know how careers go in the second phase of their career, 5, 6, 7 years, 8, 9, 10, when you start worrying about health and mileage on the tires and everything else. So I understand why he did it. Jerry's always going to get critiqued because he's Jerry. But looking at it from our perspective now, this is a monster we have to deal with. Ugh. And you have a rivalry game, the division where every game is going to be completely combative and hard. Just got harder. And the only way to look at how can you overcome this is you got to be able to run the football right at them. You got to be able to control the line of scrimmage. Because if you get into a situation where we're down, we have to have it drives, multiple drives in the fourth quarter, and he's going to pin his ears back and rush every snap, we're going to have a problem. Because you can't leave that many receivers in to protect and get guys out and win one-on-one.
I'm really glad you said that, and you have a running game bent to you today, which makes a lot of sense, because down memory lane we go. That's the first thing I thought about was, okay, Parsons is with the division rival, and with Edgerrin Cooper and Rashawn Gary, they have some players defensively who can make a difference. But you know what? To each their own. I'll look at the rest of the personnel defensively, and I'll take my chances. We'll just end it right there. I'll take my chances with the rest of those cats if you block up 2. Or you rush at them like you said, which caused me to hearken to, it was 2015. Okay, Chad Greenway was on the Minnesota Vikings. You were at Oakland.
Yep.
Okay, and you guys neutralized. It was the conversation the whole week with, I believe it was Norv Turner as the offensive coordinator, is they had Aldon Smith and Khalil Mack.
Yep.
And Mack was early in his career, and he was the absolute unstoppable bomb that season.
The other guy that was traded for 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, right.
Micah Parsons.
And Aldon Smith, the former Niner, might have been nearing the end, but he still was a factor. you guys ran right at them almost every single play, and that was Norv Turner's approach to these edge rushers. So let's say Rashawn Gary, Micah Parsons, run right at them. Edge guys don't want to be hit. They want to rush, and they want to hit you. Adrian finished the game with 203 yards
and an 80-yard TD
and a touchdown. Yep. And I mean the approach is, I think, analogous to what you said for this year. With teams facing those guys, you just got to be able to run at them, right?
You have to be able to control the line of scrimmage, and you want to run directly at them because make them be physical at the point of attack over and over and over. But in order to do that, you have to get ahead in the game. You have to be able to control the game. Not even be ahead, but just control the game, have it be close. All of a sudden, you get behind early, slow start. Yeah. Now you're trying to play catch up. Now you're in trouble. Being good on first and second down controls everything against these really good pass rushers. You think about Jared Allen he's in the Hall of Fame. One of the best pass rushers of all time.
Yeah.
Was he good against the run? He was good.
Yeah.
Was he elite? No, I don't think he was. But he was elite at pinning his ears back and going to make you pay for that every time. If it gets into a 2-minute drill and Jerry gets to rush you 10 times in a row, I like my chances. Jerry's going to get at least one. So get yourself in a position where you can just play smash mouth football.
Yeah.
Let O'Neal and Darrisaw get after these guys and be physical. You give yourself a better chance. I mean, that's at the end of the day. But these guys are monsters. I mean, that's why you're paying them. And again, how did Khalil Mack's second part of his career go after he got traded for 2 first-round picks?
Right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So maybe
more in and out with some dominance.
Yes, with some dominance. But my point, and that's why I brought up the Jerry Jones, the deal, is you just don't know how this deal is going to. For right now, it looks dumb. But for 2 years, it may not look that bad.
Well, here's the thing, though, and why I do think this is a bad trade. Packers are going to be a good team.
Yeah, in your division.
And so these first round, these 2 picks, they're going to be,
in the 20s.
In the 20s. I hope not the 30s.
Yep.
And these are going to be low first round picks. And he's awesome. Those of us old enough to remember when Reggie White came. The only player that has the same number of sacks, pressures, hurries in the first 4 years of their career, history of NFL, is Reggie White.
Yep.
And they just went and got their new Reggie White.
Yep.
I don't want to live through that again.
I just don't want to give him too much credit. I just want
the Packers?
to hate as much as possible.
You know what's really and this is also painful too. Part of the reason they can afford to give $100 million a year to 2 players, their quarterback and Micah Parsons, it's because they've drafted well.
Mm-hmm.
They have so many contributors on rookie contracts that they can afford to do it.
But
Packers are a well-run org
with the quarterback,
community owned.
It's with Micah Parsons and Josh Jacobs and what he did last year, and the Texas rookie receiver with all the speed and the nice hands and everything. Elton Jenkins goes to center, and he's a game changer. Yeah, there are a lot of good things, and Jordan Love is a fine quarterback. But how much pressure is on Jordan Love right now? Because really, the problem with Jordan Love, and there are jokes about throwing off the back foot, and we've all seen it. And personally speaking, until he changes that, I don't think that he will succeed to the level at which they do. And maybe they'll be right. We'll see. But if you look at 11 big games, all right, now if somebody hit me with what about that Cowboys playoff game?
Yeah.
Cool, talk to Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones won that game for them, not Jordan Love. Jones was unstoppable. But then you look at the across-the-body throw in the Niners game, picked off by Dre Greenlaw, Philadelphia last year, and so on. My man's coming up soft and small in big games. It's a very small sample size, and like I put on the social media machine last night, if he handles it, cap tip to Jordan Love. But there still is an if. So you can bring in Micah Parsons. You can bring in whomever you want. If that quarterback doesn't come through in big moments, you got major, major problems.
Yeah, I think when you look at a big trade like this with a bunch of money going to one player, right, you're paying him like a quarterback now, essentially.
Yep.
You're going to have, based off his career, you're going to get output from him. He's going to produce. He's going to get sacks. He's going to get hurries on third down and second down and make plays. But if you don't have the guy that can, if you can't control the line of scrimmage, run the football, and you have a quarterback that can't make the throws on third down, which, again, in the big moments, in a big spot, and by the way, every division game is going to be that this year, well, then at the end of the day, you have a really expensive defensive end. That's what you have.
Yeah.
And you get beat out in the first or second round of the playoffs. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you have him. Congratulations. Give you a chance, but he's still got the repaired thumb. That was the number 2 talker after the Micah Parsons trade was, and by the way, he's looked like this because of the thumb. So, like, already making excuses in media for why he's looked the way he has.
I just wonder.
You saw that?
Yeah, I did.
Yes,
I did.
thank you.
I know he's longer in the tooth, but think about all the years that we've seen Kenny Clark and how many fits he has given us and how he has truly become a one-man wrecking crew. So it's not, would you rather have Micah Parsons or Kenny Clark? But I wonder how quickly that changes. I mean, it's so great, the pressures and the hurries and the game-changing in passing situations, but the ability potentially to have a different matchup against a Carl Brooks and a Devontae Wyatt, Kenny in the middle. You're talking about running on teams, identifying those spots to potentially dominate. You know, you're sacrificing potentially from one area to bolster another. So you're absolutely, pragmatically, you love having Micah Parsons. I do believe, though, that I think they will miss some elements and have to adjust without Kenny. And maybe that's where our running back tandem can dominate when we see these border battles.
And how rich and juicy is this? The Green Bay Packers are at the Dallas Cowboys week 4.
Yeah, love that.
Micah Parsons going back to the Big Blue Star.
Pass that stat sheet.
This is the Friday Football Feast at the State Fair at Carousel Park. You're listening to KFAN. Thanks for stopping by. We'll be right back.
Life moves fast. A new home, a new baby, a new chapter. But without an estate plan, your future's still vulnerable. With Trust and Will, you can name guardians, start a trust, create healthcare directives, and more. All online in about an hour. It's attorney-designed, state-specific, and built to protect what you love. Plans start at just $199, and every plan is safe, secure, and kept completely private. From families with young kids to adults caring for aging parents, Trust and Will makes it simple to take control. Without a law office, paperwork stress, or court delays. Go to trustandwill.com and use code RADIO to save 20%. Start your plan today. Don't wait for life to force your hand. Estate planning is one of the smartest, most loving things you can do. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. See website for details.
Trust and Will.
Get back. How close are we/I to making sure I get the SEC channel so I can watch Kentucky Wildcats women's basketball?
Yeah.
How close are we to that?
Well, it's a year. She's a senior.
Next season, right?
Next season, yeah. So, I mean,
that'll be sweet.
Get it set up next summer, get it all locked in, and you'll be ready to go when it comes to fall and they start playing. So, yeah.
Providence won last year, right?
Hoops?
Yeah.
Yes.
And the year before?
Yep.
Okay, and finished second the year before that?
No, they've 4 in a row they've won.
4 in a row. Jeez, man. Yep. That is dominating.
Yeah.
And Providence wasn't exactly a stone-cold winner in any sport prior to that.
Yeah, but it's been a fun little run. A soccer game last night, so the fall sports are already rolling. So they're 3 games in already. And, obviously she was overseas in Czech Republic, won a gold medal this summer with the U19 USA team.
Yeah, how many stamps on the passport have you added?
That's why I was gone. I didn't
know that.
So long.
And you went, of course.
Yeah,
you and Jenny.
Yeah.
How long were you gone?
Brno, Czech Republic. Matt was gone for like 22 days.
Wow. What was that like?
Training camp in Colorado Springs. Then the Team USA flew over together. She was over there in Brno for 15 days, I think, or 14. And then Jenny went for 10. I went for 6.
Yeah.
To see all the pool play in the first play-in game, and then I had to come back to take care of other kids and do other stuff. But just an incredible opportunity to be on the U19 national team, USA.
Jeez.
So now you see it's incredible as a parent because she brings home the Team USA jersey with you.
Wow, that's great.
Wow.
Like going through the first game, they do the national anthem before the game, and I think we played Korea that first game, and it's just watching the Olympics for so long and watching so many events like that on the world stage, it was pretty amazing to have your kid be a part of that. And then she takes the court and plays great, and it was just really fun. Good experience.
Is she a better athlete than you, comparatively?
Yeah. I mean, and not necessarily you're talking about basketball now, but obviously track, and she was able to set 2 state records in track this year. One with her sister in the 300 hurdles, and then the 4x400 in their class. So
wait, with her sister?
Yeah.
Shut up.
That's a cool deal.
You have 2 daughters who share a state record.
That's right.
In a relay.
So it's been a pretty fun run. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. And there's more coming, guys. 4 girls, they're all coming.
What was
a lot of fun.
What was the reception like overseas, being part of that international, specifically with women's hoops?
Yeah, it was interesting. You know, the Czech Republic, the host country, was good. It's a basketball country.
Were you in Prague?
We went to Prague. So Bruno was basically between Vienna and Prague. So we took the train from Vienna up.
Did you try Pilsner or Kel while you were there?
I had several of those per your request. I was like, Nordo said. Nordo's all-knowing in a few elements, right? Beer and barbecue is Nordo's specialty. So I trusted him, and I just smashed it. Czech Republic food, I could probably take that never, ever again in my life history. But Prague was cool. Vienna was cool. It was an incredible
beautiful
experience.
country, right?
It is, yeah. And then the gold medal sitting at home. So away you go. Pretty incredible. And he just tried to put into perspective for her of like how hard it is to be in this position and how much you need to enjoy it, because pretty soon you'll be 42 and look back. Remember that? That was crazy. So like every time your mom wants you to take a photo, like take the photo.
Take the photo.
You're going to want that.
Absolutely.
And have some perspective. So then obviously with my other girls coming up, like they're looking at that as like, okay, I want that too. So it's pretty motivating for the girls. So it's exciting. It's fun time.
Do you feel like in some ways, I mean, after having that experience, now it's like, SEC hoops?
No,
I mean, the Wildcats, I mean, that's sweet, and it's such a great opportunity that still lies ahead of her, of course, but it's just like, it was just, I wore the colors.
Yeah, I mean, come back and start playing high school sports again, which is kind of different and unique, and, half the team had already played college basketball.
Yeah.
Because they're, some of them were, I think half of them had already played a year of college, now they're going to their second year. So just the array of ages was kind of different for her perspective, too. Of just like, I'm going to be in that level in another year. And, the SEC is a monster. So I think she's going to need to be more than ready for that thing.
I remember, as good as Maddie's been, I remember at one point you were saying, and this is several years ago, so maybe it's changed. You were like, no, Maddie's really good. But wait till I think it was 3. Wait till you see number 3.
Don't want to skip over number 2 because she's doing some crazy stuff too. But yeah, number 3's got a chance because she's bigger, which is, she got a little bit of dad size. So yeah, but I mean, like so many of us spend so much time chasing kids around. You guys all do it, have done it, chasing kids around for youth sports. And it's a lot of fun and a lot of time. And got that 8 a.m. game across town. You're like, I don't want to get up and do that. Every parent's listening like, yep, I've been that guy.
Yes.
And it's just really fun to see them find the love for something at a young age that they can be passionate about, that you hope then sports teaches them the life lessons they're going to need when they become an adult and have a job and work business. And it's just fun to go through the opportunities to learn.
I got a quick Vikings one for you I want to ask. Is it at all weird to you, and you would know better than most, the team announced their captains a couple days ago.
Yeah.
J.J. McCarthy is his position captain.
Yeah.
He has never played an NFL snap.
Yeah.
And, I want to know from your perspective, are you cool with that? Is that okay? I mean, leadership can take a lot of different forms. It doesn't have to be on the field, but at the end of the day, performance on the field matters, I think.
In the locker room, at the end of the day, the only way to really gain that trust of the locker room and that respect, the ultimate respect that you want as a player, is really media, fans, that's all great.
Yeah.
But the locker room is what you really care about. Is like, I want the guys next to me to look at me and be like, that's one of our guys. He's with us.
Okay.
And you can't really earn that without going to play. You have to go out and take snaps and take live action and play.
Yeah.
Make plays, go through ups and downs, and then to earn that. So I think it's the one position now, even above linebacker, that you would probably be like, that's the guy where we're giving you this because we expect this of you.
Right.
And you need to mature fast because this team, at the end of the day, let's be honest, an elite quarterback is going to take this organization to the next level. I mean, it's what we expect. It's what we want. It's what we hope. And to put him in that position would almost be a slap in his face to not put him there. So I think it's the right move. I think it's a good move. Been around JJ enough now in small parts to see his personality, his interaction. I think is really good and good for this team. And he's got that young, excitable spot to him that is fun, and fans should embrace that.
And it couldn't be Max Brosmer, and it can't be Carson Wentz. So I mean, he's the obvious choice.
Yep.
It just struck me that I think in an ideal scenario.
Yeah, I saw it and thought about that too. But think about in that position, you're just there's so much heaped upon you from a pressure standpoint. Now, I mean, at the end of the day, he's waited, and I've been that guy after missing my rookie years. You wait and wait and wait and wait and wait, and the anxiety and the stress and the pressure. Now amplify that because he's playing the hardest position in sports.
Right.
So he's got so much built up. Like this is just another thing that he doesn't need to think about. But I'm the captain of this team. I'm gonna act that way. I'm gonna treat my teammates that way. It's just the position that offers itself.
But see, he's not the captain of the team, and that's what I was going to ask your opinion on before we say goodbye. the Vikings have 8 captains, and there are a bunch of teams that have 7, some that have 6, some that have 3.
Everybody gets a medal now.
So what is your standpoint on the voluminous number of captains so many teams are having these days?
I think,
and this may be too archaic. I think it's cool if you have an offensive captain, a defensive captain, and a special teams captain.
Amen.
Or 2, 2, and 1 max.
Yeah, I'm a 4-captain guy. That's what I've always been. I think the teams I've been a part of, I've had teams that have had more than that. I've had teams that have had less than that. I think 4 is sort of the number on a team of 53 in this league, where you do have so much experience and so many guys moving around and so many guys you want to give that to them because they've earned it. And I think this team, and I think that's the situation now where we have 8, is like we have a lot of guys that have earned that spot.
Yeah.
You have a lot of veteran guys that have earned that spot. That you can't pat Harrison Smith he's going to be a captain. He's a captain in every sense of the word. But you have this young, excitable quarterback that you need him to act and play that way. So I get why they do it. It's just not putting your foot in the ground, because that would be a hard thing to swallow for a guy not being a captain. But I'm a 4-captain guy. That's where I am. Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, and still to this day, I got to tell the story, is my best captain moment of walking out.
Yeah.
The coin tosses. It is really a special moment to be able to get out and coin toss. I don't care if it's a road game in Oakland and you're in front of the fans. To be the representative of your team matters a lot.
Yeah,
but nothing like the home game at then TCF.
Yeah.
-3 Seattle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wide left terrorism. Blah blah blah. Right. But Bud Grant.
In his short sleeve shirt.
We're on the screen. I'm not looking at the screen. All of a sudden, I hear the fans go crazy. Like the captain start to walk out, and the fans go crazy. I'm like, well, that's not for us. I mean, that's not. I sort of look up to my left, and he's like right here, like he's within this distance of me, right? But like the video's only on him, so like I look at him and I look at the video and I see what everybody else is seeing. I'm like, that's maybe the most bad thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And he's just sleeveless and just looking like he's just absolutely built for it, because he is and was. But that is to me a goosebump moment of my captainship, of being with the Vikings, and the history and the connection and the playoff game. That was really special.
It came through at home too.
Yeah, I believe
absolutely.
It. Yeah, because he just, especially for the Vikings fans that have been with the organization forever, it's like he is the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, Bud Grant exemplifies what we are, and the same reason I feel like we should have left the dome off the U.S. Bank. Like, let's just freeze people out of here when they come up here in January.
Yep.
That's how he did it, right?
That's how you get win. You get free wins, Carolina.
The ghost of Odin, man.
Yeah.
Come on up. Deal with this wind.
You got it.
My man, a week from today, we will see you at Buffalo Wild Wings Oakdale the first official Friday football feast. And we thank you for joining us today. Chad Greenway, ladies and gentlemen.
Good to be back.
Chad Greenway, a staple 9 to noon, and a staple with Minnesota Vikings football. Into the middle portion of the radio show, the play-by-play voice on television for the Minnesota Wild joins us next. He is Anthony LaPanta, and that's next on KFAN.